Good morning, and it's a beautiful day in New York City. Unfortunately, the news is always out there, and what's happening to people is really important. I realized this morning I've actually been talking about income inequality for 10 years. I got onto WordPress in May of 2012. And why did I get on? I wanted to be able to explain how did the crash of 2008 occur, what happened, why it happened, and how income inequality got started. And so here we've gone full circle, except for one thing. The people are finally speaking out. Power to the people. Makes you wonder about the unemployment numbers. When everyone is saying in almost every industry, whether you're in healthcare, you're in science, you're on a railroad, you're in agriculture, people are saying, we're unemployed, we're understaffed, we don't have enough manpower to make our jobs easier, we're not getting paid enough, we don't have benefits, we've got poor working conditions, we don't get sick leave, we may not even get a pension. So makes you wonder, are the statistics right? I don't believe it. What in the world are they measuring? And maybe they should consider measuring unemployment differently. After all, most of these numbers were made up a long time ago, along with the GDP, when they said, okay, this sounds about right. But we're not looking at people who would really like a job and aren't in the workforce at all. Nor are we looking at what's the homeless problem is really encompassing. In California, kids who have a doctorate and are postdoctoral students, they're on strike since mid-November, and they live in their cars because at $23,000 or $24,000 a year, they can't afford housing anywhere. You'd think with all those beautiful buildings that everyone's putting their name on across the country, that's increasing the cost of tuition to kids. You'd think they'd put in housing so that there could be graduate housing. I know my grandson is going to Ireland with his girlfriend this summer. And when they go, they'll be able to stay at Trinity College, where they've got graduate dorms that are suites that accommodate families. Any reason we can't do it here? Why do we have to have so much inequality? Why are the kids who are powering research across America so underpaid? And are they equally underpaid in every region? I'm not so sure. There should be some kind of standardization. So now we got the kids in California who are really bright children, bright young people. I shouldn't call them children. They're probably in their 20s and 30s. And they're sleeping in cars. That's a crime against humanity. We've got employees working at Starbucks, Amazon, Trader Joe's, the railroads. They all want unions. They want union wages, and they want to be seen. Seen and heard because they're people. I remember when I started on social media, I used to even give seminars on Robert Reich's picture of our economy and the economic standards that we had then. I don't think anything's really changed. In fact, I think income inequality has gotten worse. For the railroads 20 years ago, they made 15% profit. 10 years ago, they made 29% profit. Now, they make 41% profit. And they want to have trains with only one person running the entire system. How much can people take? And if you think you're going to replace everyone with robots, what are you going to do with 259 million people? You're going to put them all either to work and not as slaves, or give them the necessary income so they can survive too and have the good life. You think they don't want to have the 18 million bucks that the average CEO in America makes today? Think again. Why else are they playing the lottery all the time? Why else are they waiting for the $1 billion pots and making those $1 billion pots? Because everyone wants a slice of the pie. And they deserve it. It was the railroads that brought in the beginning of the end of the Gilded Age. It was the railroads in the early 1900s that went on strike for better wages. And then it was U.S. Steel that finally got unions into really powerful positions. Looks like that's what's needed today. Income inequality doesn't help anybody. It just makes everyone miserable. And what has the internet done, unfortunately? It's exacerbated the bad information coming out of corporations, like climate denial, like culture wars, like anti-vaccines. All of this is so that the lower and middle classes are squabbling over issues that are non-issues. It's a lot of misinformation. It's a pity, because we need a good education system in this country. We need allocation of funds for real infrastructure. And we need allocation of funds to maintain our resources and make sure that we don't go above 1.5 degrees Celsius. Sure, we adapt, but we mitigate too. And I don't see that happening. And it makes me sad that after 10 years, all we're back to is the same old thing: income inequality. When do we resurrect the middle class? When do we look at people and say, that person is decent? I see that person. I know they have worth, and I'm going to treat them with the respect and dignity that they deserve as a human being. Income inequality isn't good for corporations, even though they're making a killing and some of them are bringing home hundreds of millions of dollars a year, while their lowest or medium income worker is making maybe $25,000, $35,000. Shame, shame, because your employees are unseen. As a small business person, I could never do that. All my employees were my family. I cared about them. No, I didn't make a killing. Sure, I'm not poverty-stricken, but why should I be? And why should anyone else either? We all deserve a good slice of the pie so that we too can afford to be ill at the very least and take time off and be covered for it, and we get vacations. I know when I was at Bankers Trust as a vice president, I got 6 weeks vacation and I took every bit of it. Why shouldn't everyone else get a decent vacation and a boundary between work and their lives? It's all necessary, and our productivity would go way high. Right now, I'm pretty pleased the people are speaking, and I'll be even more pleased when the people are heard, listened to, and get those raises they really deserve to live in the states that they work in, to be able to own a home, or at the very least, rent a home, and have the good food that everyone says is necessary for good health. So, on this December morning, hey, don't make me talk about income inequality forever. It says in the Talmud, as an activist, it doesn't matter whether I achieve my goal or not. I just have to keep at it and keep saying what I know is right. Well, I am, and I am speaking out, and I do it in real life too, not just on the internet. But enough's enough. We need solutions, and there are solutions. There are solutions to every single problem that we have here in America. Let's use our heads, folks. There is no planet X that we can go to in the near term. Let's conquer inequality. Let's conquer it in all ways. Thank you, and God bless you. See you next week. Bye now.